Hey guys, welcome.
What's up?
Oh, okay.
This happened too many times. Okay,
Sorry,
you start. You
starting?
start. Okay, you just start. You do it.
Okay.
Cool.
Hey guys, welcome to the Kansas Uncut. We've actually cut out one Kansas in this video.
We did.
Maybe Elijah, but Zion is at daycare. Yeah. Anywho, what are we talking about today, Sam? What is the highlight?
Today
of
we
this
are
video?
reflecting on 2020. So much happened in that year.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're just gonna talk about what happened really. The different things that we started. The way God moved in different ways. The things that were unexpected. The things that were born, or the people that were born.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna take some time right now to just honestly go back and kind of go through memory lane and share with you guys what God did with us and through us in 2020. But starting off with the theme of 2020, what was the theme last year?
So in December, so we didn't wait until the 31st. We actually came up with this theme at the beginning of December. I think it was actually on the 1st.
Yeah.
As we started to kind of just think about how the year was wrapping up and ending. And that season was like crazy for us. There was a lot happening. That was when God that was the season where we were just coming to terms with the fact that He had released us into doing ministry beyond the way we were doing it, to pastor, I should say. October is when we got the go ahead, and then we spent some time like in the rest of October, November, just really like figuring out what that was gonna look like, checking our hearts, making sure it was Him, confirming with leadership, all that type of stuff. But then December 1st, we said, okay, you know what? This is gonna be symbolic to how we're gonna live the rest of our year. Yeah. And we called it our yes year. Our year to just saying, yes, Lord, yes, God, whatever it is you want to do, you can do it. Our sister, Sarah, like she really knew the heart of that word for us. So what she actually did is she gave us a kind of like a canvas, of that just said, "It may everything you do, like from this moment on, be yes," something like that. Every time we'd walk past it in our home, we'd be like, it'd be a good reminder that like, okay, this is what we committed to, this is what we said. But I think the crazy thing about the yes theme for this year is like we literally said yes to everything. Like we didn't take time to doubt it. If we knew it was the Lord, we immediately said yes to it. And we said yes to a lot of things that we would normally not say yes to so many things in a year. We're both the kind of people who like to take our time to do things like very, very well. Not that time means that things are going to necessarily be well, but we just don't like to do a lot of things at once. We don't really know that by our life, but if you know us personally, you'll know that. Yeah. I think that was like very different about 2020. What do you think about that?
Yeah, because that put us in a position where we made a commitment to God. It was more than just saying yes, but living it out. Yeah. Because it's different if it was just like a cool saying, like you were saying, where we just said, okay, God, we're going to say yes to everything. But because we're a team, we're like, yo, we're going to keep each other accountable on this word. Even if the other person doubted about something and we knew it was God, we had to push each other to continuously say yes, no matter what. Yeah. Through saying yes, a lot of things happen. Obviously, Elijah was born. That's another yes. Yay! Okay. Through saying yes, we started a church. We planted a church in Ottawa. Through saying yes, we got a building for our church.
That's like a whole extra video in itself.
Yeah, it is.
But just to tell you that in short, Samuel had prophesied it at a conference in March. That was the day before our launching. Yeah. Or the conference before our launch service when COVID hit. So we had to launch online. And a lot of people were there to hear him say it. He's like, this year, God is going to make a way for us to get a building. And keep in mind, we didn't know that it was going to be a year filled with COVID where most places weren't getting rid of properties. Right? So it was a very like insane word, because that was like the month where they started to actually lock things down and people started to really like come to terms with like, oh my God, we're in a pandemic, you know? So that word seemed like it didn't make any sense. And what church, like fresh church plant, gets a building in the first year? Not that this doesn't happen, but it's rare, you know? I knew it was the Lord because He doesn't say stuff like that. Like our plan was actually to wait like 3 years. When we were just briefly talking about like, we'll wait 3 years, we'll rent, it's more affordable, it's simple. We had a place that we had a really good deal with that we were renting from. It was so far out of what we were planning.
Yeah, it was.
And by June, we had our own building. And even the way we found that building, like there was barely anything. And we only looked like for a short time because we wanted God to like give us the when is it okay to look. Yeah. So we said the word and we left it alone. And then it was like within like 3 weeks, we were barely finding anything. And when we were finding stuff, it was like extremely out of our budget. And then I can't even get into the story of how we found the building because I feel like that's a whole other story. Yeah. But we got a building by July 1st. We had a building. And what's even crazier is that was also the year we said yes to launch our apparel line. Okay. And it just so happened that the building that we got had a retail store on the bottom. Okay, so at the time though, we didn't plan on using that. We didn't think we'd be able to get the full building.
Yeah, because it's 2 floors.
Exactly, and it didn't even click to us that we could use it for our store. We just thought we're gonna have it online only anyway.
Yeah.
We can't afford to open up a full store. And God is so funny because that's the foyer area of our church, but it's also like our store, like our storefront, which it was not the plan at all. I think people probably think it was a plan, but it was not the plan.
We were only going to rent upstairs.
I don't know about you.
Yeah,
that still blows my mind.
We launched Pursuer Apparel, which is our apparel company, which totally changed our lives.
Yes, it did.
Not only emotionally, I say even physically, from
financially
boxes, but financially especially.
Providing for the church.
Exactly. Yeah. It made a really big difference in our lives. Getting a building, starting a church, Elijah, Pursuer Apparel.
We got a new car.
And I was about to say, and we also got a new car.
And you guys don't understand. That is a whole other video in itself too.
And not only did we get a new car, we got an SUV.
Which was a prayer that we made before. That by the time we have another child, we're like, Lord, like, we just hope to have an SUV. And we got it right before Elijah had arrived. And we were able to, I don't remember how, but I ended up receiving like extra money. So we were able to pay off our other car, pay towards the new car, and be cleared from that other financing contract, which was horrible.
Yeah.
The whole situation was just like the favor of God. Really nice car too, one of the popular car, and 2020, like a 2020 SUV, you know? So that was
one of the biggest.
Insane.
Let me ask you this question. What is your biggest takeaway from 2020?
My biggest takeaway is that one yes becomes a ripple effect to every other blessing in your life. And what I mean by that is sometimes you think you're just saying yes something small, but it paves the way to something so much bigger down the road that you may not realize.
My biggest takeaway is definitely the fact that we decided to, and I always say that, people are going to hear me say that forever, but the fact that we took the risk to step in the water and not just like get in the boat, but really just step in the water
and walk on it
and seeing the manifestation from that, like the blessings that came from that. That is something that I can carry forever now. And we can step into 2021
saying yes
with the same mentality.
And that actually helped our marriage in a massive way. So so what's really interesting is we thought, we'll do a video on marriage probably sometime soon, but we thought it was about like, oh, this person needs to fix this, we need to fix that. There was issues that had been in our marriage, for like a really, really long time that hadn't gone away. But when we started to say yes to other things like God was saying, by default, our marriage started to get better. Because that's the thing about when you pursue the will of the Lord, right? Like everything in your life starts to come into place because of your yes. So you might think it's about your spouse, but really it's about your yes to God. And because of your yes to God, then He can now work in you and work in your spouse separately, because you're on the right path.
Moving on to next year, 2021, which is where we're at now. Our theme is the year of increase. We shared it with our church. We got it directly from our spiritual father, Apostle Stephen Hyde. So going into that, the expectation that we have for this year, 2021, is to really see the things that happened in 2020 to take a whole different, like, that it be taken to a whole different level, really. So when it comes down to even the church, that it be taken to a whole different level, that it be increased. When it comes down to even our car, that it be increased. Our character, yes. Even when it comes down to Pursuer Apparel, like everything that we started in 2020, we want to see a major increase in 2021, and even the things that we're going to be starting this year. In 2021, our desire and what we believe is that God is going to increase these things at a supernatural speed. So my biggest expectation for this year is that I'm going to see a major increase in literally everything I put my hands in. Every little thing.
We will be sitting here next year this time with being able to show the fruits of that. Like, mark our words. We're believing God for that 100%. Like there'll be nothing we put our hands to that would not flourish. There'll be nothing that God's asking us to do. Not only that we're gonna do it, but it's gonna increase quickly. It's gonna, like, I really believe that a part of the word increase is favor.
Yeah.
The favor of God. As much as we saw so much of the favor of God in 2020, I'm believing 2021 is going to be a whole different, and not because we're special, not because we're worthy of that, but because of our constant consecration, our constant surrender, willing to die to ourselves. Like, I believe that God's going to honor that and allow things to be exponential and be advanced at a fast rate and beyond what people have seen, and not so people can look at us, but so people can realize that God is faithful. Like the year, I think another way to say increase, the year of increase is the year of his faithfulness. Because we can only be increased because he's faithful, not because like we are deserving of that. So I'm so excited.
This year is going to be our biggest year so far. I already know it. And I'm excited to have you guys with us through this journey and to witness everything that he's going to do through us. So guys, 2020, we're closing that chapter.
Yes, we have.
Honestly, this one is top. I know it was a hard year for a lot of people, and I get it. A lot happened in 2020 aside from everything that happened in our lives, just in the world, from like the police brutality all the way to different celebrities that died that we really respected and honored, all the way to the pandemic as well, like COVID-19, that is still really trickling into 2021. So we're still dealing with that, but I believe that though all these things happen,
he's good.
And maybe you had a really tough year, as Toya saying, like, he's good, and 2021 is your chance to make it your best year. There's a lot going on in the world, but you have the chance and you have the power to make 2021 your year of increase as well. Just hold on to that word and run with it.
And we went through all of 2020 with no COVID symptoms and never COVID.
That's right.
That's a blessing. That is a blessing, and no one that was super close to us ended up getting that or dying from that or anything on the line of that. So that's just his faithfulness. And we vowed that when we heard about COVID, we were not going to be fearful. We're not going to panic and go and buy all this stuff or shut ourselves in the house. And we're like, God, we are deciding that you are so good, you are faithful, and that would not be our story. And he honored that. So I'm praying that for anyone. I just really hope that you guys watching this don't think we're out here it's like some kind of flex or subtle flex or anything like that. But like, my heart is that you would be encouraged by this. Like, actually, that you would hear this and be like, I want to make 2021 my year of yes. Like, that's my hope, that people can hear this and be like, we need to vow to do the same. And that it would just go on and be a ripple effect into the generation and into this nation, that people would say yes to God. Like, that's really, really what I want. That we'd be evidence of that. And we're giving, like, we didn't even give full detail of everything, because we'd be here for like 2 hours if we did. But that what we gave would be enough for you to realize, like, it's worth it. Even if it's risky, even if it's scary, even if people are going to talk about you and say, oh, what are they doing? I'm sure people do that with us. Like, how much things are going to launch and da-da-da-da. But at the end of the day, it's about your fruit. And your fruit will speak for you. And your fruit will defend you. And you don't need to prove anything or explain anything to anyone. As long as your Father, which is God, has deemed you fine and in alignment, keep going. Keep going.
Amen. That was good.
Love you guys.
I have to tell with the preaching.
I know, I'm always preaching. I'm trying to I need to tone it down.
It's really funny. Alright, so guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button below.
Yes, subscribe, but
and
please
keep up with
support
all of our videos.
Yeah, we have lots to come.
Yes, we do. So we'll see you guys next Friday.
Oh, you know what? Before we go, I just want to say thank you for leading our family so well in 2020. Honestly, this wouldn't have been possible without you. I mean that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I mean that. You're a good dad, good husband, good son.
All right. Thank you.
All right, bye guys.